What's up with your butt up? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to your favorite with your messy self story time. Today I want to tell you guys how I fell victim to an MLM. That's what you call it, right? Pyramid scheme, scammer, scheming, plotting, planning. It was very much unintentional, and I just want to spread the word because I've heard that a lot of people have fallen victim, and it wasn't just me, so I don't feel so bad about it. I was maybe 17, and I was looking for a job. I was working with very limited transportation, part-time as well, because, I was obviously still going to school, this, that, and the third, which can be very hard. Okay, for a little teenage baby. I was in desperate need of money. I was trying to get out my mom's house and be an adult. I wanted a car so bad, and I was like, how am I supposed to do this? Nobody wants to hire me. How do y'all got jobs? Y'all, I was trying Safeway, King Supers. I was trying the movies, everywhere. Not a bite. And I was getting very much discouraged, very much pissed. One fateful day on the bus, I see this ad. You know how they have the ads on the top of the bus and the trains and stuff? So I see this ad, no high school diploma necessary, make your own schedule, make up to X amount of dollars an hour. It was speaking directly to me. It was for me. I was like, this is a sign from God, obviously. I take down the number, later on I call it, and immediately they're like, oh my God, yes, it looks like you would be a perfect fit. You want to come in for an interview? What? Yes, say less. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I will get there. So I get an interview, y'all. This is the first interview I've gotten, so I'm so excited. I have to tell Robert's funky ass, and I'm super excited, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna get this job. All I needed was an interview. It's all I needed. I look up this address, y'all. This place is almost an hour away. She wanted me to be there first thing in the morning. I would have had to take off so early and take multiple buses there. Robert's funky ass's mom was gracious enough to let us borrow her car the day of my interview so that he could drive me to this interview. As soon as I get this job, I'm gonna pay you back for your gas. Please, thank you so much. Day comes around of my interview, my little business ensemble on, and I'm just hyping myself. I'm like, you got this, you got this. He drives me almost an hour to this random building. You know them buildings where it's just a bunch of different businesses on the inside, but they all look the same? It was one of them. A lot of cars in the parking lot. It was super hard to find parking, and he was gonna have to wait there for me. I take off, I head inside this building. As soon as I walk in, there's this huge group of people in the foyer. They're waiting for the elevator, and I walk up to the security stand, and before I can even say anything, you're here for Vector? Yes, I have an interview. Yeah, you can join the rest of them. Why do I run into two people that I had gone to high school with? And I recognize them, they recognize me, and they're like, what's up? And I'm like, no fucking way. We are all around the same age. It is a herd of us. We look like cattle. It took 3 elevators just to get us up there. Well, at this point, I'm not really that nervous. I'm just confused. I'm just befuddled. I guess I'm just gonna follow along and see what happens. Maybe we all gonna get the job. I don't know. So we go into this jank, dingy office, and they got chairs lined up in multiple rows immediately. Y'all, what was supposed to be the front area of an office space, they just used that immediately. They just used that part to have everyone sit in the same room. If I had to put a number on it, it was 40 of us, maybe. It was quite a few of us, okay? And they have pamphlets and stuff on it, right? And informational pieces of paper on each chair. This random guy comes out from the back. Hello, welcome, my name's Rob. Go ahead and grab any seat, and we're gonna get started in just a few minutes. I sit next to one of my homies, and I'm like, okay. And we start reading through this pamphlet. It's about sales and marketing and entrepreneurship and building your own business and this, that, and the third, and we're all reading through it, and we're everything sounds amazing. Yes, I'm making your own hours. I'm this is exactly why I'm here. This is exactly what I need. Rob comes up to the front alongside another dude, and this guy has to be maybe 19, 20, very, very young. And so he stands up there and he starts giving this motivational speech, bitch. It was very, very moving. How he is financially free, how he takes multiple vacations a year. His clients are family. They never let him go without, and this is such a sustainable long-term career move. Meanwhile, the dude that's with him, dude B, he's just kind of sitting there. Every time Rob would be he would literally snap at this dude, and he was and every time he snapped, this guy would pass out something new. There was so much paper involved. It was crazy. Graphs and like, these are our sales and like, this is like, you know, how much I've been able to accomplish. And I onboarded my brother-in-law and this, that, and the third, right? It's a whole family tree, ancestry.com up in that hoe, okay? By this point in the story, you guys probably already know where I'm going with this. And if you don't, let me tell you. There's this place, there's this business. You sell knives. Okay, not just any knives, very fancy schmancy carved by the gods knives. Are we cold calling? Are we taking orders over the phone? No. We doing door-to-door sales. Door to door. What? Everybody stopped. And like the vibe just went from 100 to down to 0. And everybody was like, wait, what the fuck? Rob goes into his entertainment. No, don't worry about it, y'all. Don't worry about it. It's very simple. There's not a specific location that you have to work. You can work out of your own neighborhood. Just think about it. You walk outside of your own house and your client's right next door and you go introduce them to the best knives in the world. You make your money. They get the best knives in the world. It's a win-win. No big deal. Very shiesty, giving much very better call Saul. Like, he's just doing this dance and making this all seem like a great idea. It can come with a lot of perks and not just money. Like, you get to build a relationship and a bond. Y'all, now that I look back on it, it was a little weird. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But he told us a story about one of his clients, and she was a stay-at-home wife. She had a huge home, very well off. She has to have new knives every X amount of months. New knives. So she has been a long-standing customer for Mr. Rob. Now, when I show up to Mrs. So-and-so's house, she's expecting me. She's so welcoming to me. And not only do we get to share our love of knives, but she cooks a meal for me. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here and so much time has passed. And I don't know how long this is going to take. I thought that this was going to be like an interview, maybe like a half hour max. But I've been here for like close to 3 hours and I'm like, oh snap. So I text Robert's funky ass and I'm like, I'm still in the middle of it. And he's like, in the middle of what? And I was like, training, like onboarding. I don't know. And he was like, well, do you have the job? Like, what the hell? So I'm trying to explain this to him. Give me a few more minutes. Like, it's almost over. Like I promised. I had no clue. I didn't ask nobody. I just didn't want him to freak out. Has to be almost over. Like, we've been here for a good minute. In that moment, here comes this man rolling out a whole ass cart with nothing but knives on the top of it. Show and tell. And he starts chopping up random things, veggies, household items, sponges, like just weird, just random shit. He's underneath portion and he was just like a magician, just pulling shit out and cutting it and putting shit out and cutting it. And I will say, it did cut like butter. I won't even lie. Them knives were they were kind of impressive. He starts asking for people to volunteer. Who wants to volunteer? And so he picks people out of the crowd and he's like, come up here and try out the knives. And I thought he was just going to pick out a few people. No, he wants every single person to come up there and chop something. Just chop it. Just gotta see. You just gotta hold it in your hand. 2 hours turns into 3 hours. 3 hours turns into 4. All of this sounds amazing. Glitter, rainbows, everything's gonna be awesome if you choose to work here. Then he has old dude that's just been kind of floating around and passing shit out. Mike, why don't you come up here and tell him about your experience? Yeah, this boy comes up so successful. This Rob dude is like, you guys have any questions for him? Why, ask him any question you want. Very slowly but surely people start raising their hand and they're like asking about like, do you actually like make your own schedule? And he was like, yes, I do. Whenever works for me, that's when I go out and work. Just like general questions. And people were like, okay, knocking on people's doors. Like, do we need to go through training? But we do give you a handbook and, it's basically a script. And as long as you follow that, you're good. We were definitely outnumbered, boys versus girls. There was more dudes there. I raised my hand and I'm like, I haven't heard anybody ask this question yet, but like, what about terms of safety? I'm looking at the girls and the girls are like, yeah, like you expect me to go and, go door to door by myself? Y'all, this boy looks at me and he was like, well, that's why you get your friends onboarded here as well. And hopefully you guys live near each other and y'all can do a buddy system and go door to door together, split the sale with each other. What? This boy was definitely like not doing a great job because Rob stood up with the quickness and he was like, yeah, you know, we love, you know, the idea of teamwork. This entire thing is like a large red flag that I am currently inhabiting. Somewhere around here in my mind, I was like, this is dumb. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is crazy. He snaps, snap, snap. Here goes old dude passing out this huge, y'all. It looked like an old school phone book. It was like a catalog of every single knife, utensil, everything that they stole. Laminated, you can go through order numbers, everything. All the best practices, what things to avoid. I'm gonna send you guys home with some homework of sorts. You guys are used to homework. Y'all are all young. I want you to go home and I want you to test this out on your families. I want you to tell them all about the knives that you saw and worked with here today and see what their thoughts are. You would be shocked at the amount of sales that we get just from simply family alone. Just try it. Everybody needs a new set of knives. These knives were so expensive. Ain't nobody buying these. Ain't nobody buying these. Now we're in this room and the way that we're facing the front of the suite. So Rob is in front of us and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see the front door of the suite, where like out from where the elevators are, just cracking open ever so slightly. And I look up and Robert's funky ass is just standing there. Everybody's looking at him. He's looking at everybody. And he finally finds me and I'm like, what are you doing? Rob looks at him and he's like, can I help you? This is here for my girlfriend. I'm driving her home. Who's your girlfriend? That would be me. Very good. Y'all, he slow clapped my ass. And I'm like, what? Everybody's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know. By all means, join your girlfriend. Let's pull up a chair for him. Let's make some room. You brought your boyfriend here too. Bringing people to the family is one of the biggest parts of this job. This is why it's amazing. You can work with the people that you love the most. Could you imagine going to work with your boyfriend every day? Here comes Robert's funky ass. He sits right next to me and he's like, what is going on? And I was like, I will explain everything to you in a minute. He's just now getting here, so everything that he's hearing is very fresh and new, and Rob's still going through his whole motivational shit. And I look over and Robert's funky ass is sitting there and he's like nodding his head, super excited. He's like, oh yeah, it sounds good, it sounds awesome. And I was like, no. Rest of the time that we were there, this man kept calling on Robert's funky ass. Actually, young man, you haven't even had a chance to try the knives. Let's get him up here. Let's get him up here. Clapping when he like got up. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, what just happened? There goes Robert's funky ass up there chopping shit. This man sinks his claws into Robert's funky ass and is really showing him a lot of attention and a lot of applause and a lot of, right? Sends Robert's funky ass to come sit back down next to me because he's just doing too much. This is a whole MLM. This is the definition of an MLM, and this boy has absolutely no clue. Like, he's just like, yeah. Here goes Rob, and he ends it off with the golden question. So who here is ready to start their career and start living a life for them and making your own schedule and working for yourself and being your own boss? Who here? Here goes Robert's funky ass. Yeah, me, yeah, hell yeah. And over half of our group that went up there to sign up. They need all your information. I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to do it. Robert's funky ass calls me out in front of everybody. Why? Like, you don't want to be your own boss? Like, you don't want to, y'all, he starts regurgitating everything that this Rob dude just said with everybody standing around, and Rob's just like, please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this. Just leave it be. I don't want to sign up. Robert, it's fine. Like, can we just go? He said that we could work together. You don't want to work with me? Can we not do this right now? I just need to think about it. Why? What? Like, what do you want to think about? You're literally not getting calls back from anywhere else. I know you. I know you did not. I know you did not. I know you didn't just go there. I know you didn't just go there. Keep in mind, I got friends here and stuff, and like, they're like, ooh. Y'all, I am so embarrassed. Everybody's looking. It's just like a whole... This dude, Rob, the director or the head, whatever he is sitting there. He is not intervening. He's not stopping. Like, he's just like, yeah, like, I want the answers too. Like, come on. And I was like, I'm gonna go. Because, like, And Robert, y'all, I head towards the door. Sign up with me. You love me, like, just sign up with me. I'm sorry. You're not about to keep embarrassing me and picking and poking and picking and poking. I done already said no. I'm trying to handle our private business in private. Like, why are you doing this? Y'all, I turned around and I was like, because it's a scam. It's a scam. Robert, it's a scam. I'm sorry if you can't see that, but I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody in this room going to be a millionaire by selling knives door to door. I refuse. If you think that you're gonna go home and convince your mom to buy a $250 knife, you and I both know she ain't about that life. So I don't know who you're lying. Who do you know that's gonna buy these knives, Robert? I had my drop the mic moment, but I really didn't feel cool about it. I felt so embarrassed. I don't even look at this Rob guy. I didn't even have it in me to look at his face. After I said all that, I just turned around and walked out. Did I mention that this sweet, the front of it was made out of glass? It was made out of glass. On. Every single second, I was like, I'm going to die of embarrassment. I'm just going to die. I see Robert like shaking his head and putting the paper down, and he's just like, yeah, no way. She's like, oh, okay, I'm ridiculous. You're not about to just keep on embarrassing me. You're not about to keep doing this. I'm not here for y'all. I'm more and more embarrassed. I can't even handle the shame at this point. I take off. I don't know where. I take off. It is like a double-ended hallway, you know, like it's the elevators in the middle and then there are two hallways on the side. I go on the other side and I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just looking for stairs. This building is a big rectangle and the elevators are in the middle. So like you go like this, right? I came out this way. The place that I was in was over here. I came out this way. I'm walking down the hallway like this, looking for the stairs. You think I find them? No. You know what I gotta do? I gotta pass them again. There I go, looking like a pendeja, and I made my second walk of shame, and I don't know why, because I know that I'm right, and I go and find the stairs. I take my butt all the way down to the first floor. I don't know where I was going. I had no car keys. I go outside, and I sit myself right next to an ashtray. I wait there. Robert's funky ass is the last one out. Last one. He don't say not one word to me. We walk to the car. We sit there in silence. He turns on the car and he just sits there. And I sit there. Quite frankly, I'm ready to fight. I'll fight this out. Like, how dare you put me on the spot like that? Like, say one word to me and I'm about to blow this up. Drop me off at the bus stop. Not dropping you off at the bus stop. I don't want to ride with you. I'm pissed at you. I don't even want to be around you right now. Like, you want to be stupid? You can be stupid by yourself. I know. You know what? After you said that and I signed the paperwork, he brought out another order form. He said that he needed a $500 deposit for the knives, like a starter's kit. Really? Why did this boy tell me that he had to just go down the stairs just like I did? Because he was like getting pressured and he felt embarrassed and he damn near ran out of there because he didn't have the money and no way to pay for a starting kit to sell knives. I'm sorry to ask, but did you think that they were gonna loan the knives to you? Called and called and called and called and called. They had already had his information. They target high school students or like fresh out of high school because, you know, the coin that they offer, I mean, even back then it just seemed like a lot of money. I can't remember the hourly rate that they said. They used the up to words, okay? Make up to this amount. For those of you guys that may have friends that you knew in high school, all of a sudden they're hitting you up in your DMs talking about, are you ready to be a boss babe? That's how that happens because they'll snatch you up. They'll snatch you up if you're not careful. If they say it's an interview and it's definitely not and it's a herd of you that's all in one room with a presentation, everything, get up. I'm giving you full permission. Don't worry about being kind or polite. Get up, get your stuff, and walk out. Don't nobody want to be buying your knives. That's a crazy concept. Is that not a crazy... A stranger at your door with knives that you want to let in your house? Girl, get out of here with that. Absolutely not. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to see me every single week. I love y'all very much, but God loves you more, and I will see your fine self in my next video. Peace out, y'all.